What's happening, people? We're finally back. It's been 18 months since we've done a podcast in a studio. The last two I've done were with over Zoom, and it's not the same, is it? We need to be in person. It feels much better. So, Chattin Pony with Paddy The Baddy's back. This is episode 9, and this episode is brought to you by CBD Uplift, sponsoring this podcast. Thank you very much for all your continued support, CBD Uplift. Yous are the boys. Our guest today is my very good friend, the main man, Adam Ventry.
Hey.
Say hello, Vince.
Hello. What am I? Usually your friend, MMA fighter sometimes, occasionally.
He's my friend,
coach.
He's my coach. He can be my enemy in the gym at times, can't
We've been enemies most of the time.
Yeah.
That's that.
No, what? I want to open up right away with a question someone messaged me yesterday. Someone said, ask him for us, how does he put up with you in the gym every day?
Do you know what? I could have got less from murder.
Yeah.
I could have got less from there and got out on good behaviour by now. I actually could have got out by good behaviour and murdered you instead. And sometimes I wanted to murder you.
That's what's one of the first questions someone asked me yesterday when I put that story up. Ask him how he puts up with you every day in the gym, because I don't know how he puts up with you.
You're not too bad. You're not too bad.
I used to be a lot worse.
No, when you were younger, you were a lot worse. You were just a lot annoying.
I was like a diva, lad.
You were a diva and you were a child.
Yeah, I was a proper
You were a diva child. That's what you was.
I've grew up in the last 2 years, lad, and that's been a good thing.
Yeah,
you know
it's like you're not too bad now. The only thing bad about is your Instagram. That's the part of it. That's to meet you sometimes on Instagram when you go off too much.
Can't help myself, you know what I'm like, lad. Everyone says it to me. You need to turn that in. Like, no, lad. People get put in a place. But let's start off with obviously how we met, lad. Because it's 11 years ago now.
Could be 12. I think it might be 12 nearly.
It's 11 or 12.
It's 11 or 12.
2010.
Yeah,
February 2010.
So it's a long time. Like.
I'll never forget it. Sitting on the side, I can remember you coming in the gym. He didn't look like this, by the way.
No,
he had no beard. He had hair. Me and him used to have opposite hairdos. Know what I mean? I'd have a skinhead.
I had long hair when it wasn't cool.
Yeah, Vince had long hair when it wasn't
when you
cool,
get called a goth and all this. Now Paddy's got the long hair and now he's one of the boys.
Yeah, now I've got the long hair and it's cool. Know what I mean? But when Vince had long hair, weren't cool, lad. You did look like a goth though, didn't you?
Probably was a little bit. Like
yeah.
So I weren't one of the ones that sat around St. John's and all that stuff. Yeah. Like I wasn't all them wearing black nails and black.
But the first ever time you come to the gym, I can remember you never trained the first night, did you? You sat on the side and watched.
Do you know what? I can't remember myself.
I can.
Like it's that long ago. I can't remember myself.
That long ago. You sat on the side, you watched all night.
I probably did watch.
And then the next, and you can remember you speaking to Paul. And then the next night you come back.
Because I didn't really want to do MMA.
And then
I wanted to do jiu-jitsu, and that's all I wanted to do. And then fell into MMA somehow.
It's the only bit of making money, really.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah. And then you started training a few days later. And I was telling someone this the other day. Another thing I'll never forget. You'd only been training about a week or two, and I started like a month before you. So I was like, I had obviously a bit more knowledge in that. And I rolled with you one day, and Sam and Jack was sitting in the foyer watching, and they went to me, how many times you tap him there? I was like, about 5, I think. You walked out and you went, hey, how many times did he tap you then? Fucking hell, boys, you're making me fucking look a cunt here.
Yeah, I can't even remember all this.
That's what I mean.
It's mad how you can remember yourself.
I know. I can't remember stuff what happened 2 weeks ago, but I can remember that 11 years ago.
I can't remember where I put my phone, but I can remember faces from 4 years ago. Like the other day, that story.
Yeah. I swear to God, lad, like, we've been doing this for so long. People just don't realise how long we've been doing it.
Because we're still so young. It's like we have done it for a long time, and people don't understand how long we've actually done it for. We've done it before. We did it. All these kids now have got the easy way.
Yeah,
it's easy now.
There's
so many shows. There's so many IMAFs and amateur days, but we had the proper rules.
I was just about to say.
We had the proper amateur rules.
We had proper amateur rules.
We didn't have elbows, but we had knees to the head, and we had everything else.
Like,
but
amateurs now they can't knee to the head. Obviously they can't elbow. They can't. Well, the knee to the head's one of the biggest ones, because now they can't knee to the head.
What's the difference between getting a shin to the fod and a knee to the fod? There's no difference.
There's no difference. They might as well keep it in. It is quite.
But the skill level's gone better.
Yeah,
the skill level is a lot
better.
A lot of amateurs train like pros, like what we did when we were amateurs. We trained like pros when we started out, but they got it they've got it easy.
Lad, it's mad you see now. Amateur, lad, how many
Like, they
amateurs
didn't
have
go-
got sponsors?
There's more sponsors than we have.
Yeah. Know what I
Probably
mean?
make more money than us.
Yeah, they do.
I hear stories of amateurs making 20 grand off sponsors.
and you're just
fucking-
like, what? How are you earning that when we was amateur, lad?
Back in the day, we had to go for the Olympia days
Yeah,
like this.
lad.
We weren't having amateur fights in the Echo Arena and
Yeah, that's what
all
I mean.
this.
Like, when we was younger, lad, it was literally, all we had was AFC, weren't it?
We had AFC,
Cage Conflict.
Cage Conflict. There was like, I'd say there was about 5 shows that
Yeah.
you could actually fight on.
And that was it.
And
Know
now,
what I mean?
well, how many is he now?
Now, you
There's
can't
like
name them all.
there's a different show every week.
Yeah, there's a different show literally every week.
Cage battle, grapple battle. This
We're driving to one end of the country
Yeah,
or another every week, cornering
like this
people.
week we're going to Barnsley, aren't we?
Yeah.
And then a few weeks later we're going to Vegas, and then it's like
It's mad, like
it's all over the place.
It's just mad, like it's even weirder for me and you because obviously, like the people who started like at the same time, me, you, Ellis, know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different for us because when we started, MMA wasn't really in the dark ages, but it still half was.
It kind of was still the dark ages, but it wasn't the dark ages.
Yeah.
It was still the old school of training.
Yeah.
It was still the old school of
like nothing was-
promotion.
yeah,
And it was pre McGregor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pre McGregor. It
hadn't exploded.
was the biggest then. Brisbane was probably the biggest
Well, it
British
was-
MMA fight then,
when
wasn't
I
it?
first started watching it, it was Brock, weren't it?
Brock.
I
remember
was watching
watching
it before me.
No, I watched bits of it, but I remember watching Brock versus Mia because I'm originally from a WWE
What we all
background.
was.
Do you know what I mean? So
If you,
Brock,
if you were a kid and you didn't like WWE in the early 2000s, you're a weirdo.
yeah,
End
because
of.
now it's AEW, now it's not WWE anymore.
This fella
So-
still watches wrestling, you know.
So what's wrong with wrestling?
He
Wrestling's getting
watches
better.
AEW,
Yeah.
he's sick.
But most MMA is from wrestling.
Yeah.
It's from WWE. Most of them act like WWE
at
stars.
Colby.
Connor,
Colby.
load of Connor stuff's from
Yeah.
Vince McMahon, and Dana White is basically based
Vince
on
McMahon,
Vince
yeah.
McMahon. He's used his business model. He's
Yeah.
used everything as he can do.
You're right there,
But
like.
he's done what Vince did. Vince went round and bought every fucking wrestling promotion.
I know.
Dana's gone
I know,
round
I
and
was
bought
mad
mostly
that.
all the
I
MMA
was watching
promotions.
videos yesterday and like, what? Strike Force, what else was there? World Series of Fighting and that.
He didn't buy the World Series of
Didn't
Fighting.
he? What-
WEC.
WEC, but what was the other
Elite
one?
Elite
XC, that was the other
show,
big one.
Strike Force.
There was
Pride?
Pride.
How we forgot
I know,
Pride?
We forget Pride. Like, they done what WWE done, yeah, monopolised the sport. But
It's the way forward, really.
it is the way forward
like-
because that's why MMA now.
You can say Dana's this big as concept in the planet. You could say he is, but
knows
we
what
wouldn't be
he's
sitting
doing.
here. We wouldn't
Yeah.
be sitting here.
We wouldn't be sitting here
we
doing
wouldn't be
this
sitting here
podcast.
talking about UFC and fighting because we wouldn't have no Dana White, no this. You got to be successful in life. You got to be a cunt.
Yeah.
Most of rich people are cunts. Yeah, they always will be.
I always think of Steve Jobs, you know.
Steve Jobs,
Proper
one of the worst people in the world. Because he has to change his license plate every week because you key in his car all the time as workers. Because I use that
that's
bad.
what's like. That's what I think is like that. Even though people go on about the UFC, fighters don't get enough pay or stuff like that. That's the difference between MMA and boxing, lad.
Yeah.
Boxing, they can't force anyone to fight each other.
Like-
in MMA, you get told you're fighting.
Like you want to see
UFC.
fights in boxing. How many promotions? How many networks you got to go through? How many managers you got to go through?
Different promoters.
There's like Joshua versus Fury. We'll
I
never
don't
see
think
it.
that's going to happen.
It'll never happen.
Lad, I'm going to put it out there now. I think Husk is going to beat Joshua.
I don't.
I know a few people
I
think
don't.
that
I think-
Joshua's too big and he'll catch
I
him with a
think
big
Joshua's
shot.
a bit too big. Usyk's got better skillful boxing.
Better footwork.
He's just bigger.
I think it's going to be the
He's just bigger.
footwork what beats him.
Like,
I reckon he's
I
going to
know.
win
I know
a
he beat
12-round
Chisora,
decision.
but Chisora gave him a few problems.
Oh yeah,
a few
Chisora did,
problems.
but I think Joshua's not unlike Chisora.
No.
Like the way Chisora storms forward, know what I mean? Joshua stays on the
He
jab.
hits hard. He hits like
Does he hits hard?
I
He
wouldn't want to
hits
get
like
hit
a
by him.
heavyweight. No,
I don't want to get by Joshua anytime soon.
think anyone
But
wants
that's
to
the
get
thing.
hit by
That's the
Joshua.
difference between MMA and boxing, because boxing's like, when are you going to see one of these mega fights? You never see them, or you see them when they're old.
Yeah.
Mayweather Pacquiao,
Mayweather
is one of
Pacquiao,
them.
prime example.
To do it both. Pacquiao was kind of, but he's got better.
He's
Lately.
won a
But
world title since and all that.
the
but
thing is, with MMA, you'll see the fights
Yeah.
all the time.
get-
McGregor's fights for all the time. All the megastars are always fighting.
well, how many
other
title
megastars.
defences husbands had this year,
Yeah.
lad? Know what I mean? Is it 3 this year
That's
already?
because one person
Owns
runs
the company,
runs
yeah.
it. Where it's like you got Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, who's the other ones, Bob Arum.
And who are the ones who are taking over Sky now? The Saeed brothers or something like
I
that?
don't know who the Saeed brothers
They're
are.
taking over Sky
But
because
there's too many
Eddie
of
Hearn's gone
them.
to
You've got to get
Dazzle.
through purse bids and all this stuff, but that's why MMA's a lot better.
Yeah,
A
it
lot
is like.
easier to do.
Well, let's get back onto MMA. And I'm just going to have to ask the question. Someone said to me last night, I don't even like talking about this fight with Ven because it makes me furious. But someone asked me last night, what was the feeling when you went back into the changes after the Took fight? Like, what was going through your head?
you know what? Do you want to be perfectly honest? I couldn't remember it. Couldn't remember the fight. Like I thought I got finished in the first round.
I know, I can remember that.
I thought. No, the funniest part of the whole thing was him. He's kicking off, throwing a bottle of water. So I'm walking back in, didn't see that he threw this bottle of water. Next thing, go in to grab a chair to throw the chair. I go flying on my ass because the water's everywhere. Chair goes flying.
Right on his back.
And then I'm just fuming even more because I just fell over.
I walked in the change. He was like, "How the fuck that just happened?" Threw a bottle of water at the wall. Then comes in, fucking 30 seconds later, didn't know threw a bottle.
But it's like we're talking like no context here because some people might not know about the fight. It's hard not to, but it was like let's go back weeks before it. It was always you gotta get knocked out.
Yeah.
You're gonna get knocked out. You're not gonna be able to break. You're not gonna beat him up. You're not gonna be able to beat him.
That's all everyone kept saying. Oh, he's a level above striking. He's this. He's that.
He's gonna get beat up. He's gonna get this.
Yeah, he needs to grapple to win the fight. And
people made him into this big Conor McGregor, next Conor McGregor wannabe. Do you know what I mean? Like made him into this like scary monster. But then when I seen him at the before the fight, like the medical area, he was doing all the like jumping up and all this, looking at me, and I'm like, "You looking at?" It's like, "What are you looking at me for?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "We're going to fight in a minute, but the cage is there. We don't have to do it now." And then he started like getting all weird, like he started looking at the floor, like, and then he just disappeared. And I remember asking Paul Reed, "Where's he gone?" And he went, "Oh, he's got a taxi. He's gone back to the hotel." He said he didn't want to be here. So I thought, "Oh, I've won there.
Yeah,
I've won
the mental battle straight away.
I've won the mental battle straight away because I didn't go, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't look. I'll look at the floor.
Don't look at me. I'll look at the floor for you."
And then we had the fight. We having as we were walking out, I got to the cage door. I just thought, if I'm getting knocked out, I'm just going to go out swinging. I'm going to go out swinging until I can't swing no more.
Yeah.
And basically that's what happened.
It was. Like,
basically, I went out there and I think...
If anyone who hasn't seen that fight, it got over 1 million views the first round, didn't it?
It got, like, it's just mad. It got, like, millions of views on Facebook, and then, like, the Lab Bible put it up one time. And it got like 6-7 million on that.
Lad.
And then, like...
And the funniest thing about the thing is, when anyone watches that first round,
it's only
everyone
the first
thinks
round.
you won.
Yeah,
everyone thinks you won, lad.
It's only the first round that they watch.
It's like a daft, lad. That is, when people say about like a 10-8, 10-7 round, that is the definition of a 10-7 round.
The judge messaged me after and said, Ben Carter's messaged me after saying, if it was going to be the first 10-7 round I've ever given my life. Because he said, if you didn't get your back taken at the end, near the end, you would have got your 10-7 round.
Yeah.
He said,
was it 4 times you dropped them or 3?
3, I think. 3.
Nearly finished them several times.
It was just like, I remember Put Rimmer speaking to me and saying, do you know how many punches you threw in the first round? I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, you've nearly threw 250 punches in one round. I was like, yeah, we're trained to throw 250 punches in the first round. The game plan was to go in there, take him down, and put him on his back. Yeah. But he did, so it was just a mad fight. It was mad because
everyone thought he was going to outstrike you and you fucking put it on him. Yeah, and then everyone thought you was going to outgrapple him and he ended up on your back. You know what I mean?
But it's just like, I'm not really that bothered anymore.
I know. It's gone now,
it annoyed me for a while because, like
I
said to you the other day, yesterday, this morning, sorry, I said to you, for 5 years, I'd keep getting, oh, you should have won that fight.
Yeah.
You should have won that fight. You should have won it. I was like, I know I should have won it. You have to keep reminding me that I should have won it.
I've
like
had the same
with you, with the shot and back.
Yeah. Everyone
you
just like to me.
How did you not finish that rear naked choke?
How did you not finish that rear naked choke? I was just like...
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's meant to be. Like,
it's one of them things.
But... I'm not that bothered by it anymore. Like
it's not as bad as Paddy versus Czech Congo, lad,
no,
so it's all good.
I've done a lot more than he has.
Yeah.
Ever since.
Lad, ever since that, he can't take a punch.
He can't take a punch.
Literally.
Do you know what I mean?
Every punch he takes,
everyone wants the rematch. Everyone wants the rematch, but is the rematch even worth it anymore? It's 5. It's 5.
How many fights has he had since? Has he even fought since?
No, he got a bit of legal trouble, didn't he? Got a bit of legal trouble, man. Went missing for a bit. I think he's in Scotland now with James Doolan. I think that's where he is.
Yeah. I'd like to see him fight again, to be honest.
I'd like to see him fight again.
Just to see if his brain's fixed from when you beat him.
It probably isn't. But
probably not. Like
he is a good fighter in what he does, but he just doesn't. It's an act.
Yeah.
It's all an act.
I think it is with them all from SBG. Like Gallagher, it's all an act.
Yeah.
The only person who it's not an act is Connor, and it's because it's him.
Because Connor's one of a kind.
Yeah, Connor's one of a kind. But they all try and copy
But Connor puts on a character. I said this to you today, didn't I? I said he puts a character on to get into a fight.
Yeah.
Like, remember when he fought Poirier the second time?
Yeah, and it was just him.
That was just Conor.
Yeah, that was just Conor.
That was not the notorious Conor.
And then
that was just Conor McGregor.
WWE persona came
and
back,
then
didn't
after the fair one, he was back to the old...
Back to his old self.
Because maybe it's fighting. You've got to get into a cage with a man.
That's mad the way you say that, because that's what I've said about the back fight. Yeah. Leading up to that fight,
You're too nice. You're too nice. I said that to you all the time. You're too nice to him.
I was too nice to him. Like, we were shaking hands. We were
like
fucking
yours.
all that.
I'm not calling you saying you've got a character. I'm saying, but the baddie, when you go into a fight, is a character.
Yeah.
It's a character for you to go into a cage to fight another man. Patrick Pimlet couldn't go into a cage and fight another man.
No,
it's got to be Paddy the Baddy. That's got to go and fight that person. It's like Conor McGregor for the second fight with Dustin Poirier.
Was just Conor McGregor. Wasn't the Notorious.
He was Conor McGregor from Dublin. Yeah. He went the Notorious Conor McGregor that went in there and started having these fights. Fighters do it all the time. You've got to create characters. Like Molly. The meatball goes into the fights, not Molly goes into the fights. You've got to create characters to get you into a cage to fight another man that's going to try and kill you.
Because that is what it is at the end of the day. People say it's prize fighting, this and that, but when I'm in there, that is my mindset. I'm going to kill you before you kill me. Yeah. Because that's what it's like.
It is, that's what it is. It's do or die.
Yeah, it's do or die. That's why I always, to get back to boxing, I always laugh when boxers say like, I'd do this in a fight. Lad, that's not a real fight. If we've had a proper fight with you...
No, boxing's an art. It's a science. It's a science.
It's a proper
most boxers are just the highly skilled people in the world.
Yeah.
Like, Mayweather's movements and all like that. But in a real fight, like Conor said to him, I'd put a shin to your fod.
Yeah.
I'd hit you with something and then, like, it's not a real fight. What happens in a real fight in town?
People end up too close, end up on the floor.
They end up grappling and they end up throwing each other about. That's a real fight. A real fight. You're not going to see some fella do a shoulder roll and Philly shell in the middle of Victoria Street, are you? You might do it. You might do in Liverpool, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Nah, in Liverpool, you've got more chance of seeing one with one leg and one in a wheelchair fighting like two smackheads.
Best fight I've ever seen was two smackheads. If I'm honest. That was the best fight I've ever seen in the middle of town. They kept dropping each other. Kept getting back up and dropping each other. People didn't stop it. They just watched it. 10 minutes watching it.
When it's smackheads, lad, you're just like, I don't even want to touch him. You know what I mean? I'll leave him to it. You know what I mean?
They survive anything, them.
Yeah, they do.
They survive. They fall off buildings and still get up and walk away all the time. But that was the best fight I've ever seen. Not even out of MMA, just in general. Them two just hitting each other, dropping each other.
Boom, down.
Is there a crowd of people cheering them on at one point?
I wouldn't surprise if everyone was round them in a circle.
They was.
Lads, like it was a school fight.
They was. There was just people cheering them on.
Sick, that, you know. So let's talk about your career, lad. You know what I mean? Want to talk about you?
But my career is not. It's been all right. It's been all right. I've had a few ups and downs, like everyone has. You have. Everyone has.
Now, one thing that I will say about your career, lad, and Ellis is the same. To be honest, you haven't caught a break.
No, it's not.
In some fights, I have had a bit of luck.
Yeah,
Stephen Martin.
I fought a lot of very good guys, a lot early. Like
Truman,
I think I fought like
prime example.
4 world champions that they would form world champions, but I just didn't want to fight the bad guy. I didn't want to fight all like the random French kids that come over and all these people. There's no point.
Yeah.
What's the point?
You did always want to fight people who...
I did want to fight the good guys, do you know what I mean? Because when I'm older, I don't want to think, oh yeah, I could have fucking... Why did I fight all them bums?
Yeah, why did they pad me record out like that?
I don't need a 30-0 record.
That's what I always say is fucking brilliant about our gym, lad. Like, we don't get fed cans.
No.
Everyone in our gym,
from
your amateur days to your pro, up until any level, in our gym, lad, we take a fight against anyone. You don't say, oh, I'm not fighting. I would rather fight an independent.
No, but like, sometimes the fight doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's sometimes where like someone might say, yeah, but you didn't fight this guy, but it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at the time, but to fight that guy. So the thing with the cans is, you always see it all the time. You see it with these guys get to 20-0, fighting all fucking
Reece Street
and John Spencer and all these, and them people are needed sometimes. They are needed sometimes.
For last minute replacements.
You shouldn't be doing a fight camp for one of them.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But there's some amateurs and fighters that do fight camps for these people.
Yeah.
But the thing is with the cans is, you might fight 20 of them. You fight that one guy that's not a can, you fall apart.
You get muftied.
You fall apart. You think, why is he hitting me?
Yeah.
Why am I getting hit?
I think about when you're fighting the cans, like when it like the fucking bums. At the end of it, like, and you end up fighting someone good, it's more of a mental thing. Because when you say like you take them down, and every other person who was shite who you fought, they just stay on the floor, or you hit them and they cower. When you hit this person who's actually had a few fights and they go and walk back at you, or you take them down and they get back up, or they shoot a takedown and take you down.
That's where people fall apart.
Yeah, it is.
Like, even with Bonner, the Frederick.
Yeah.
It's a prime example where Fredericks hit people and put them a kip.
And he puts them a kip, yeah.
All people folded. And Bonner never. Bonner was still there in the fifth round.
Fourth it was.
When he finished
fourth. He
was still there in the fourth. And
he
he just looked like, even when he got around the choke, he kind of just went, Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
he
have
never
that.
tried to get out of it, did he?
No,
It was
he gave
weird.
me. He gave me. He basically lifted his chin. Like he basically and Bono was putting it on him. Bono was winning. Bono was winning the fight.
Bono was easily
But that's what
winning
I'm
that
saying.
fight.
It's like when you get to these people where you're like, oh no, he's not quitting him, is he? He's not tapping. He's not.
That is that's why I love our gym, lad. Like when you spar in the gym in the morning, like there's probably better fights on the mat in the gym than when we go and fight people.
There was fights. Me and Sayol, he was watching. Who did you watch? Lee Malloy and Luke Riley. That was like a pay-per-view fight.
Yeah.
They were just having it. Like, but it went like to the
Both
point,
got heavy striking.
but it wasn't where you think, oh, you're gonna give him brain damage. That type of like sparring, you know, where it's like stupid. It was technically great. They were like pulling shots back and not landing clean on each other, but it was still technically great to watch. So like,
and lad, these two, by the way, how old's Luke, lad? 22? 21, 22?
I'm his manager. 10%.
How old is Luke? Like 21, 22?
20. He looks younger than he is.
Yeah.
He's 21. I think Liam Malloy's like 24.
Liam's like 2 years younger than me, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
These are two people that are
but it's
brilliant striking, lad, and they're going to come on in the next few years.
The crop of people we've got now is probably the best team we've
ever had.
And that's not no disrespect to the people that were before us.
To the people we've had in the past, lad,
but like
when you look at this team now, what we've got, like them two we've just mentioned.
We've got Luke, we've got Liam.
Adam Cullen.
Nathan's going to probably fight for a world title soon.
Nathan's going to win that belt and come to the UFC with me, lad. I know for a fact he is.
He is, but the crop of team we got now is probably the best we've got.
It is.
We've ever had.
You're right.
I think it's the best. And
like obviously years ago when we had a good few people years ago, didn't we? 10 years ago on the Cage Warriors. When the Cage Warriors first
we basically had we had a lot of people on Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
We filled Echo Arenas. Remember the card? We had like 12 people on it.
Yeah.
Had 12 fights on it.
All the amateurs and that on it.
Yeah, it went a great night, but we still went
bananas, lad. And
what night was that?
Was that
when you fought Nad?
When I lost to Nad? Yeah, that was when Nad
when
beat me.
When Hospital never made it? Was that Nad or Bach?
No, that was Bach.
Was that Bach?
Only 3 people fought that night. It was the night when I fought Nad.
There's how many Echo Arena shows we've done?
We've done that many. Yeah, like the night I fought Nad, I lost, Ellis lost, Fran lost.
Yeah.
And then a few people won, like, but we had half a bad night that night.
But like, we've had that many, and like, but now the crop of people we've got is probably the best.
It is
and
the best.
I don't think you can deny it. I don't think anyone can deny it. I don't think even the old fights people that used to have name, I don't think they can deny it.
Well, they can't.
But
they probably still would just because of their own egos.
Yeah, we won't name any names.
Oh, we won't name no names.
Rim will be on the phone call. Rim will be ringing us in a minute, shouting at us like back to the old days when he used to ring and say, "Can you stop saying that online to that person?"
I know.
But yeah, so like the things we got now is it's gonna get stupid.
It is. Like I know for a fact.
It's like them Ecarino shows. Remember them Ecarino shows back in the day?
Yeah.
How good he was.
He was.
Like
I
that's
really
the thing.
Though,
you don't get enough credit for what you did. Like you don't this might be like kissing your ass or something. But when the Ecarino happened, like the Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
MMA was dead.
Yeah, it was.
It was dead. It was dead. You brought MMA back. Till might have brought the UFC, but you brought MMA back to the kid.
So what Molly always says that to
Liverpool.
Me.
Like you probably did, but you don't get enough credit for that anyway. Like
lad, I will do the next few
years. You will soon.
Son.
But like you got to give Till credit for bringing the UFC.
Yeah.
But you got to give you more credit for creating the idea of MMA being back in Liverpool.
In Liverpool, yeah.
Because without
like
you,
the UFC probably wouldn't have went there if they wouldn't have seen.
It's probably
you
and Cage Warriors should be the reason why Liverpool's back in MMA.
Yeah, it is like, and now Liverpool is once again like it was about 10 years ago, the hotbed of MMA.
Because it died. Remember, it was these years where it died, and we had to go to where we were in Bolton most of the time, fighting
on FCC and stuff like that.
And then it was like you came through again, and then Cage Warriors came big, and
it went off.
But because everyone thinks, that Till. No disrespect to Till. I'm not disrespecting Till. I'm just saying Till didn't create MMA in Liverpool again. He brought the UFC to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then he made it look big. He made it bigger. Where the both of you will one day be on the same card together in Liverpool, most likely.
In fucking Anfield. That's where it's gonna be, lad.
Maybe Anfield.
Look at you. He wants Wooderson. He wants Wooderson.
Maybe Anfield, but you don't get enough credit for that, and you should.
But wait, lad, I know the next few years we will. As I was about to say, lad, as you said, the crop of fighters we've got now, I know in the next 2 or 3 years we're going to have at least 5 signed UFC athletes. At least.
Yeah, we'd be, and
at least that.
It comes down to the coaching staff as well, don't it?
That's the next point I was about to move on to, lad. The coaches in our gym are unbelievable. I was just about to say, like, me being selfish I don't want you to fight again.
I love
Me being a selfish bastard. I want Adam not to fight so he can be my coach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the question to me at the minute is, are you gonna fight again?
That's what the question someone's asking me.
That's the main question I get all the time. Am I gonna fight again? And the answer to that is, I don't know. Like, I don't want to say no because that means to me then it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
It's
am
done.
retired.
And then it's kind of like this has been 12 years. If I say I'm done fighting, it's gone.
Yeah.
So then I'm not going to come back. I'm one of them. I'm not going to say something. I'm going to do it and then be like 2 weeks later, oh yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
See that I'm back like every fighter does. I'm not going to do it. If I'm going to say I'm done, I'm done. I don't want to do it. I don't want to come back. But I don't know. I'll never know. If someone comes back and says, like, let's say two.
Yeah.
If Cage Roy rang me now and said, do you want to fight Dylan Tuke in 5 weeks' time? I might not make the weight, but I'll get to the fight. I'll
There's
fight.
one fight that I know you'd defo come out of retirement for. Your twinny.
Desperate?
Brad Wheeler.
Oh, I thought you was going to say Desperate.
No, lad, he's long gone.
The Desperate's gone.
You know, just because, lad, there's a Brad Wheeler.
I think it was Brad Wheeler announced his retirement.
I think, Brad's retired as well, but, lad, that'd be a great fight.
I don't hate Brad.
No, that's what I mean.
I like Brad. I think Brad's a nice fella. But
you and Brad would have the sickest scrap ever. Just
it'd be violence.
You just both walk forward and throw bombs, lad.
But that'll bring me out. Even maybe the Stapleton.
Yeah, the Stapleton fight. That'll bring me out. Everyone wants to fight again.
And I said to people always like, why can't you fight now? It's like, because I'm not selfish enough at the minute.
You know?
Like you're selfish.
I am. When it comes to my fighting,
yeah, you're selfish, and you've got to be selfish, and that's not a bad thing. People think being selfish in a fight.
When you're a fighter,
it's bad.
Have to be selfish.
But it's not, because I can't be selfish because you want help sometimes. Luke Riley wants help. You want help. Nathan wants not help, and that's what I can't be selfish.
That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to be selfish.
It sounds very selfish me saying it. Some people who watch this podcast will be like, fucking hell, Pad. But me being selfish, I don't want you to fight, lad, because I want you as my coach.
And that's the other thing is like, coaching's easy. Fighting's not. It's not.
I'm the other way round.
I've got more injuries than anything. Look. I look like Keith Lemon.
Keith Lemon. Look.
I've got a bandage on my wrist, and that's from him. Every injury I've had is from Paddy, I reckon. Mostly Paddy.
He loves pulling this card
out. He does.
He loves pulling this card out.
I don't know what this one came from. I think he did kick me in the wrist. But my elbow, he snapped me.
His elbow.
He snapped my elbow.
His knee.
He cut my eye. What else have you done to me?
Was the MCL one me?
No, that was Mark Diakese, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was Diakese when we sparred.
That was Aaron Blackwell, the first one, and then the second one was Mark Diakese when we sparred.
This fella's had about 9,000 injuries. If you haven't got on it by now.
What else have you done to me?
I don't know if I've done anything. See when he just says, "Is there anything else you've done to me?" It doesn't go like, "Oh, what else has happened?" But what have you done to me? I get to blame for everything what goes wrong in his life, you know.
Not many people injure me except you. And you don't mean to. You don't mean to.
No, I don't.
You don't.
I'm just a weirdo. That's another thing someone said to me. Someone said, "Get that video up where he falls off the skateboard, lad."
That was your fault as well. Because people made me do things that I shouldn't do, and I do. At the time, I had a tore shoulder, and I still landed on my shoulder.
We were at a weigh-in one day.
Can we get it up?
D-side.
Didn't even time to get it up.
It's on my phone now.
It's on your It's on my Instagram or yours?
It's on your Instagram. Let's see if we can get it up. I'll explain the story as we're getting it up. We were at a weigh-in in D-side, it was, wasn't it? Or Wales, or whatever it was.
D-side, it was D-side.
Wherever it was, lad. We were there doing a weigh-in. People were weighing in, and then we walked through to this other room. It was like a little skate park, wasn't it? We were like...
I know, I turned up late.
Yeah, you turned
I turned up a bit later. You were all in there, and I remember someone going to... I don't know if it was you, Rimmer, or what else said, "Where's Vent? I'll get him here. Get him a skateboard here, and he'll do it." So...
the funny... little skate park. I don't even know where the skateboard come from. There must have just been one on the side.
I think it was like a ramp works, wasn't it? Was it a ramp works?
So it was something like that. And we just went, yeah, go ahead. And we all had to go, lad. Ellis had to go, I had to go, Sophie had to go. Everyone was just jumping on this skateboard. And then Vent goes to get on it. And the funniest one, lad, was when you was at the top of the ramp with your foot on the skateboard and the skateboard's up. He goes to put his foot down on the skateboard.
Let's go a bit down, further down.
And he misses the skateboard.
There I am there.
Yeah.
Watch.
Oh no, there's the other one.
I don't think I've ever put the other one up.
Have you never put the other one up?
I don't think I have.
Look at that. He's got an injured shoulder at the time, and he just lands on his shoulder.
Like, can you get
the sound on?
Yeah.
Right on his shoulder.
It was like
right on his shoulder, lad. And he had an injured shoulder at the time. Oh my God.
I've had many injured shoulders, but that was after the elbow, that one. Because I hit my elbow, didn't I?
Yeah.
Came back and then tried to lateral throw Taylor, and then my shoulder went. Same arm, just my shoulder, me ripped off my shoulder.
Yeah, if you don't get it as well, Vince, whenever he gets an injury, it just reoccurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like the MCL one. But
that's me both knees. That's when just one knee. That's both knees. I've done both knees, haven't I? What other one? The shoulder.
One of the funniest videos ever is the ball shot one.
That's on there as well.
Go back. Get this one up as well, lad.
Yeah.
Scroll down a bit.
I'm like UB framed. I should send them in and get like 250 quid. I'll make loads of money here.
Lad, scroll down on his.
Oh, there's a footy. You want me to follow over the footy?
Yeah, and that one as well. He's got some of the funniest videos ever on this Instagram.
Where is it?
It'll be here somewhere. Just scroll down there.
There's me.
Look at his face on that one, lad.
That's when I got elbowed in the eye. No, that
was the uppercut to the eye.
Yeah. I got many injuries.
Keep going down there. There's the one with the red background. Look at this. This is Adam at football. Watch this.
I'm good at footy.
Some of these should really be on you being framed. That's not the funniest though. This next one, lad, this ball shot.
Where is it?
It's up there with one of the nastiest ball shots you've ever heard. We definitely need to get the sound.
There is that one there.
Listen to this.
Yeah.
It just comes into camera. Listen to this. Oh. Lad, it makes you.
It's not the best bit about it. Let's go. Oh shit, sorry.
Yeah, I had the volume up and see if you can hear.
The funniest part about it's funny that Danny Roberts in the background there.
With Steve Walls on
yeah,
pads.
that's. Oh shit, sorry.
Oh shit, sorry, lad.
I reckon I'll never be able to have kids, me. I reckon I've been kicking the balls.
Look at that other one as well. Yeah, no what, Vince? That's a fight we're gonna have to bring up.
Gaz Firm.
He fought someone called Gaz Firm. Just look, well, obviously it'll be on the screen for you. That photo of Vince's face there.
That's a good one as well. That you should have seen after it.
Yeah, like that wasn't straight after the fight either. That was a few days later, wasn't it? When your face had went down.
I don't think you'll find that fight online. No, I think it was on P4 TV days.
And now, all my amateur fights are gone because of that, because P4 TV's gone. But yeah, on that, look, me there. That must be after one of my fights. Now I'm asleep in the back of it. That's the gym night out. I'm asleep in the back of the taxi, like that. Fuck off, you.
Let's just stop going through the Instagram.
Yeah. with that thing, your one, his face, lad. This is what I mean of how unlucky your career has been.
That one was that was. I think this is why Goddard doesn't like me. I think that's a fight why Goddard doesn't like me, because like the fight was happening, okay, and then what was it, about 20 seconds in? About
30 seconds
about
in.
30 seconds in, he's just like think of like a goblin, like a stocky, juiced up goblin.
I'm trying to think of a fighter who's like him. Who's Josh Emmett.
He's
little, short, stocky.
He was a big Josh Emmett.
Yeah.
Okay, comes in swinging his bombs at my head, so I wrapped his head in a guillotine, jumped for it, and it was on. It was clearly on, and then he taps on the blind side. So like, imagine the ref's there, and I'm like, this is the blind, like next to the cage, so he can't see it. So he taps, and I let go and think, oh yeah, he's seen that. And the ref's like, Mark Goddard's like, no, he hasn't tapped. I'm like, he has tapped. And he's like, and then even his own teammate was on commentary, Jay Furness, was on commentary going, and on the commentary he goes, oh, Gaz Firm's tapped there. So you can see the tap on the video. And then Goddard goes, no, there was no tap. I was like, there was a fucking tap. There was clearly a tap there. Yeah. And he was like, and then he asks this Gaz Firm, did you tap? And he goes, no, I didn't tap. His reason behind this was, oh no, I went out and didn't know I tapped. Yeah. So if you're out, how can you tap? Yeah. Like, how can you move your hand?
How can you move your hand
unless you're having a fit?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like this, flapping your arms about. It's like, so then we start the fight.
And this little goblin had been training in Thailand, lad. Just started throwing these.
Before Thailand was Tiger Muay Thai. Before I was Tiger Muay Thai of the early days.
Throwing all crazy
when was
elbows.
This was between 2014.
I had to say
2014.
We'd only been pro about a year, lad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So then he comes in and then like clinches up again, and then he just cleans me with an elbow. Like cleans me across.
Your nose was over
across the nose, and I thought, but at first I thought he hit me like in the eyebrow, because everything went dead hot. Because it's blood. Because blood gets hot. Because I don't know if you've been cut.
No, I was talking about this yesterday.
You haven't never been cut, have you?
28 fights, I don't think I've ever had one cut. Touch wood. I'm probably going to get me fucking big gash across my face in the next fight.
You never say that.
No.
But when you get cut, it's like a
hot sensation.
It's like very hot. Like it's just like blood's dead hot and it comes down your face. So I'm like, that really hurt. Like so, like it's going on, fight is going on.
And then it got into the second round.
It goes in the second round, and I can remember Paul. I remember Danny Widow going, I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna pull it. You don't need it. There was someone else in the corner, but we're not talking about him. But Danny Widow was like, I'm gonna pull it. I can't do it. Can't. And I was like, nah, let me carry on. But then as it came out, he hit me again.
I'll never forget it. Again. It was an elbow, though. It was another elbow.
Yeah, he hit me another elbow.
With another elbow directly on the nose. I know what it reminded me of, Vince.
It's
Rory McDonald.
Where Rory McDonald, Robbie Lawler. But he hits him and he goes,
I can't do it no more.
But it wasn't like I was like knocked out or hurt. It was like...
It was the pain.
It was like someone stabbing me in the face. That's what it was. And I remember people say, why'd you sit down? I was like, I could not sit down. Like, it was my own brain going, sit down. Sit down and stop. So then after it, the fight's over, everyone's kicking off.
The fight's over, yeah. There was murder. You know what I'm like? I was only about 19 at the time, and I am going bananas at the side of the cage. I am like, what is going on here? What the fuck's happening?
There's a picture. I don't know where the picture is, but I'll try and find it one day and send it to you, and you can put it up. Where Paddy and Chris and Wilson looks about 5. They're standing at the cage like this, cage like that. Just like they don't.
I'm just looking at like, how has this just happened when I clearly watched them tap? Like, what's going on?
And then after
literally half an hour later, we went in the back, and you see what Vince's face was like. Obviously,
I was still spitting blood.
When you tapped them, you didn't have a mark on you.
No,
literally,
I was fine.
You never had a mark on you.
I didn't even get it. I don't think.
And then obviously, Goddard and Chris Zorber, who's runs the show,
Olympia.
They went and watched the footage back. When they watched the footage back, you could clearly see a tap. So half an hour after Vince had just had his fucking nose plastered across the side of his face, the fight got back overturned to a first round.
But I've never had this ever happened in my life. It should have really been a no contest.
Should it?
It should have really been a no contest. Under like Nevada, if that happened in Nevada, then it would be a no contest, wouldn't it? You'd have to go for appeals because.
Fuck that! It's a win for them.
No, but I'm saying I'm not taking that. I'm taking the win.
Taking the win.
I'm like Sterling here. I'll take the win. Yeah. I'll take the win. I'll take that win. But the thing about it is, really, it should have been a no contest because you can't reward someone a win.
Yeah.
Because there's no commission in the UK, is there? There's no commission.
Yeah, there's no commission. There's nothing like that.
So there's no commission. So it's ref's decision.
Yeah.
And this was back in the cowboy days.
Yeah, the cowboy days.
This was the cowboy.
It's the Olympia days, lad. And like.
So Goddard was like, oh yeah, I thought you were going to go off. I've changed to no contest. He goes, I've changed to a win to you. And I was like, what? He went, I've changed. I went, have you seen the state of my face? I was like, have you seen the state of my face? And he went, and walked off. I was just standing there like, all right. And then people were like, oh, sorry about the loss. I was like, I didn't lose.
I know.
He just told me I've won.
Yeah, it's been overturned.
Yeah, but I remember like sitting there and Gaz Fair messaged me on Facebook's message going, did you win that fight? I was like, I think so, yeah. and he's like, oh. And that was it. He didn't say no back. I went, oh, all right.
Did he even end up ever fighting again?
No, he watched me. He went back to Thailand and was getting ready for he fought another person of us. Maybe Keane O'Brien. Knocked Keane O'Brien out, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah.
Knocked Keane O'Brien out, and then he fought. He went to have another fight, and he threw a punch or something, and because his arms were like T-Rex, he threw a punch, and I think he shattered his whole elbow. Off like landing on something and it shattered his whole elbow, so he never fought ever again.
Yeah,
but now he's got like four CrossFit gyms.
Has he?
Yeah.
CrossFit's got big.
Yeah, he's now, but I think he's got like 4 CrossFit gyms in Yorkshire or something like that.
I can't even remember where he's from, lad. Like,
he was AVT. He was Danny Mitchell. Danny Mitchell was in the corner because that's why Jay Furness was there.
Yeah. Lad, them Olympia days, lad, were crazy.
We've had some crazy times on my fights, haven't we? Why is my fight? Should we talk about Azzy Thomas?
Should we talk about Azzy Thomas? Took the words out my mouth. We're gonna have to talk about this one.
There's no footage of this. It's like that.
There's literally no.
I've got footage somewhere, but it's like the holy grail of the fight. Like no one knows.
There's no footage. This was lad. That's the maddest show ever. Like, they shouldn't have even done it in his backyard, to be honest. Was it ice?
No, it was I don't know what it was.
Ice, weren't it? The show was ice.
Yeah, it could have been bare knuckle boxing for all I know.
The show was ice. It was the main event. We were fighting in his backyard.
Wrexham,
a sports hall, buyers.
The way they set the cage out was
ridiculous.
It was like this. Like there's a table like there. So that's a cage.
See, that's the cage. These are the corners. Literally,
the crowd was there. The crowd was there. You could touch people. Yeah. We'll get back to this in a minute. You could touch the corner team, and you could touch the cage. You could touch the cage. But it was talk back the lead up to the fight.
Yeah.
Azzy Thomas, it's known that he doesn't like us.
Yeah.
He doesn't like us. He fought Ellis.
Yeah, he
and after
fought
Ellis,
Ellis.
he didn't like me and you. I don't know why he doesn't like me and you, but he just doesn't like me and you because he's a scruff.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like me and you, lad, but we get on with it.
We never find a reason why no one likes us, but it's just they just don't. But
they hate us because they hate us, lad.
There was a lot of back and forth.
Before it, obviously,
there was loads of back and forth. It was when the Twitter days were active.
Yeah, because obviously he'd fought Ellis, he'd beat Ellis, and like there was a bit of bad blood between it. Like,
yeah, there was the Twitter.
He was chatting shit about me as well, weren't he? And like he was trying to call on for a fight with me.
I don't know. But
I was obviously a lot further on in my career than him at the time.
Yeah, he was trying to get a fight with you, and then he thought he was going to fight me instead, and then it was just like a non-stop Twitter activity.
Yeah, it was just
like,
always arguing on Twitter. Him and his fucking mate chatting shit all the time, lad.
We know his mate.
Yeah, chatting shit all the time.
We know his mate.
And then when
seen him the other day.
Fell out of him.
I seen him the other day. Remember, I don't forget. 4 years.
Lad, we was just a sports hall in Wrexham. Vince walked out.
No, but it was loaded. I'll tell the full story. The full story, like, I'm standing there watching Wilson versus James Williams.
Yeah.
It was actually
mad as well, because Jay trains with us now.
Jay trains with us now. It was actually fighting James Williams. I'm standing there. 2 hour women, say about 50 years old. I'm standing there walking between, got like, you're Adam, you aren't you? I was like, yeah. And then next minute, they're like, you're getting fucking knocked out in a minute. I was like, what? I was like, what are you going on about? It's like, he's going to knock you out. Just horrible. They were horrible. I was just like, get away from me now for a boot. Yeah. And then it was, I don't even know, I couldn't remember if that was his mum or not. I was like, but it was one of them. But that comes back in a minute.
Yeah, that comes back in a minute.
That comes back in a minute where, like, all right, then the fight's happening. But the fight was like, they said to me, you'd be on at 10. I didn't fight till 12:30.
Yeah, it was ridiculous that, like.
It was stupid.
So obviously I'm thinking about, like, you've got to put into perspective, obviously they were selling ale. So
it got rowdy by the end.
It got out of hand, know what I mean?
Yeah.
At 12:30 in the night, everyone was pissed. The show started like 3 in the day, didn't it?
It started 3 in the day,
yeah,
but then
amateurs on from early, so lad, you know what people get like in them shows? Throw the bar, bomb, bomb, bomb. Event was main event. We've walked out, obviously. Event's been getting booed to fuck.
I'm getting booed to my fella who looked like a smackhead. He actually did look like a smackhead. Was just pointing in my face. So, like, I'm taking my t-shirt off.
And then you're knocking his hand, didn't you?
Yeah, I knocked his hand because he was like putting his hand on me. So as I took my t-shirt off, I just thought, I'm going to throw this t-shirt right at his head. So I turned around and threw the t-shirt at him, and he was just landed on his head. And then next thing, I seen Fishy. Fishy was like, lad, I'm going to kill you in a minute. Fishy standing there like with a nice jumper on. Because he fought you'd fought the night before, the period.
The night before,
like he's standing there with a nice pair of shoes on, like that jumper up and down, going, I'm going to kill you to our fella. I was like, this is not getting well. So then as he comes out, the fight happens. First round.
Lad, the fight was going how we wanted, lad. We knew he was a juice head. We knew he was on
I knew I had to get through the first round. I knew he had everything in the first round.
All of his wins were basically first round wins, weren't they?
Because he was known as One Bomb.
Yeah, he was. That was his name, Azzy One Bomb Thomas. And he hit Vent with all his one bombs, and Vent walked through them.
I kept calling him Juice Bomb, didn't I? And I was right about that. I was right about that because a few
years later, he ended up failing a drugs test
for 4 years and got banned. So I was right about that. So
so first round, pretty even.
First round, it was even. You could argue I won, you could argue that he won. But most likely he won. But I knew
second round.
I knew I had to go for the first round because he was going to come flying out.
I can remember you coming back to the first round and going, that's it. We've got this now, lad.
I remember clinching with him at the end of first, and he went,
yeah.
And I went, I've got you now. I've got you now. You're tired now. So then the second round, I come out, take him down next to his corner. So then he's like, my eye. I've hurt my eye. And I'm like, I haven't touched you. I haven't touched you yet. And he's like, and then Jay Fairs checks his eye. But as I'm standing there, some woman's giving me so much shit from this side. It's giving me so much shit from this side. So I turn to her and go, what's happening? You're having a good night? And she's like, fuck you, this. And I was like, shut up, you're out slag. And then next minute she goes, he's being horrible to me. And I'm like, oh my God, it's his mum. It's his mum. I'm like, but I didn't know it was his mum at the time, so I just called his mum a slag. So I could have, so I probably caused all this by
lad, it would have happened anyway, because as we said, the show was set up like the crowd was too close to the corners, especially because of the bad blood, what had happened in the lead up to it. Let's get on to it anyway.
So then,
Vent's on top of him. Vent's took him back down. Vent's on top of him.
The funniest bit about it all is I'm on top of him, elbowing him in the head by our corner because I've took him down.
Yeah, took him down again.
Actually, good ref from Jay Fennis because Jay Fennis put us back in the same spot because as he wanted to stand up, I'm telling you now, as he wanted us to stand up and start again, that's what he wanted to do. So I took him down by our corner and then I'm elbowing him. And then Ellis says something to him and he goes, shut up, Paddy.
Yeah.
Think it's Paddy. I'm like, it's not Paddy, you dickhead. And just elbow
elbowed
and
him
clean it back
again.
in the fod. And then next thing, I just see this.
Like,
I see.
the metal barricade, like WWE.
Yeah, that's what it was like from WWE.
Yeah, she'd moved the barricade and got into our corner.
So I see.
She's next to me. So she's where this is. She's going and she's shouting instructions to Azzy. I'm going, what the fuck are you doing?
The problem we've got.
And she like pulled me hair. What the
No,
fuck are you doing?
no, like she tried to get my hair through the cage.
through the cage, and I went, what are you doing?
But as we've got, the problem is, Paul's still got his back to it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know who it is. It could be anyone. It could be some kid with a knife. It could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
Wrexham. It could be someone with a fucking gun. For all we know.
I go, what the fuck are you doing? And she just
No,
goes to me.
it's this how it started. If you're missing a bit out.
Oh my God, I can't remember.
Where she jumps at us and tries to grab me, but as she does it, Rimmer's like, who's that? Like, he turns around, pushes it, but doesn't know who it is. It could be a woman, it could be a man, it could be a kid, it could be anyone. Just turns and pushes him, she falls on her ass. As she gets up, she sparks you.
Sparks me.
She hits you.
She jumped up, sparked me, so obviously, I'm not hitting a woman, you know what I mean? But even though, if you hit a man and you're a woman, expect to get it. Like, I don't agree with that. If you want to hit a man, you're going to get treated like a man. Simple as. You know
But
what
like,
I mean?
but
anyway, she hit me, and I pushed her away. And then was it Azzy's brother?
It was one, a brother or cousin.
His brother or his cousin or something hit me from the side. And the funniest thing about it was his mum hit me with an harder punch.
Yeah.
Serious.
So then I'm still fighting Azzy
He's
at
still
this point.
fighting. But then this kid hits me. Give Dylan his due.
Yeah,
lad.
give Dylan his due.
come from the side and
And
absolutely
clean
this kid out with the right hand. This kid was on the deck like that.
But then I look over and Rim's got a chair. I was like,
it went off. We had our me, Rim, and Ellis had our back to it.
Yeah,
the cage
and then
just
but then
people.
as like the funniest thing about it all, we'll get back to Azzy in a minute. Remember Luke?
Yeah.
Luke from Ellesmere Port. Luke from Ellesmere Port, right? Give us due.
He had a fight with like 8 people.
Had a fight with about 8 people. Was throwing Copperberg bottles at people. Next thing I looked, there was 4 bouncers, got him one by the arms, one by the legs, carrying him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Then as he jumps on the cage.
Because all this happened, like where Adam was on top of him hitting him. And then like where all that happened, like yous have both been like,
what's going on?
But then so they both stopped fighting. And then as he's obviously there's Ma shouting. And as he's jumped on the cage and tried to kick me.
So then
as he's on top of the cage trying to kick me. And then Adam's just jumped on the cage and went whack, punched him on the cage.
So I fell off the cage backwards, and then the next minute
started brawling.
And then Jay Ferris jumped in the middle.
The ref jumped in the middle. He's getting sparked. They're getting separated. We're like that with our back against the wall. The whole venue got cleared.
Yeah, but the funny thing about it all, we had Sean Kenny somewhere. If we had him, we could have been the Avengers. Could have the Hulk. The Hulk could have came out of nowhere, destroyed it all. But like,
big heavyweight.
I don't know where he went. I think JP got strangled by a bouncer by accident because he went to run into the crowd and he just get strangled him. And he said he seen him after and started kicking off on him because he had like a ripped shirt from it. It was just mad. But then we were like, let's just restart the fight. Get everyone out. We'll restart the fight. And the judges.
That's what we were going to do. The fight was going to get restarted. Everyone got cleared out the venue.
But then the judges refused to do it. The judges said, "No, we're not. We don't feel safe. We're going to leave."
Lad, I wish that fight would have happened. Like, I wish that would have, because lad, he would have been even more gassed after all that. But lad, imagine that. Imagine
your mum saving you.
Exactly.
Imagine being 35 years of age and your mum saving you.
Serious. Imagine being that old. And
maybe it was planned.
Might have been.
Maybe it was like, hey, it's the conspiracy now.
Cause murder, so it gets wrecked.
Hey, the conspiracy's coming out now. Maybe he planned it. Maybe he planned it like the government planned it. Maybe it was that. Like, maybe he planned. Maybe he just said to them, if I'm getting, I might have been injured or something, thinking if I'm getting tired, fucking cause murder.
Yeah, cause murder, so the show gets legged.
But
that literally is. I think that's one of the only times that's ever happened. Like,
there's been fights in the crowd.
Yeah, but the show's never been stopped.
I've seen a bear get knocked out at a show. got whacked by a bear at a show. I've seen that once. I don't even know you were there. I
don't think it was.
I think it was like a UKFC show or something.
Yeah, I don't think I've even been there.
Like,
for
but
that.
she got hit and she just went. She was just out
but
on the floor.
I've never known, like, even though it was the main event, it was the last fight anyway.
These are the proper cowboy days.
Yeah, I've never known a show to just get fully.
Shut
we're
down.
not doing it. No, the judges go, oh, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to
I've seen shows like get shut down because of cages and stuff like that. And
cage doors.
Yeah,
Liam
Malloy
Malloy's fight that time.
But that's part of history, isn't it?
It is.
Really?
Like,
Everyone's
cowboy days, man.
always going to ask about a no contest.
Yeah.
It's like,
But like that, lad, that's what I mean.
That's more fun than a souk fight. I don't know why some people don't talk about that more.
Because there's no footage.
Yeah, I'll get your footage.
Lad, if there was footage of that, lad, that would be everywhere.
I've seen the footage. They just cut out the best bits.
They cut out the best
The lad
bits.
did, like, once I jump on the cage and hit him, it goes off after that.
Doesn't surprise me. That's when it went proper
Yeah,
mad.
that's where they
lad,
get.
chairs were just getting launched everywhere and that, lad. It was like a backyard brawl. You've never seen nothing like it. It was mad. But that's what I'm saying, though, lad.
You got it more than you did in the fight the night before.
I thought Grimshaw the
night
night before.
He didn't even hit you.
Hardly got hit in the hole in 15 minutes.
I got sparked by an old woman and a
Then
fucking...
I got sparked by an old woman and a son fucking the next day. You know what I mean? I got hit more the night after I fought, cornered and Adam, than I did the night that I actually fought. Fucking madness, lad. Like, you're, lad, even as I say, the way I say you don't catch a break, at least in this fight I'm about to mention, you did catch a break, but your eye was absolutely fucking battered.
The Fowler?
Fowler.
Yeah.
Like this could only happen to Ben.
Fowler, right? Come on. Like, I watched all the footage of his fights. He was slow. Like, he didn't throw punches like the way he threw that punch. He was...
When Ben got in there, he was like Superman. He threw this bit.
Like,
This
it was my own fault. I ducked into it. It was like, I think it was just fun more than anything.
Yeah,
in
the
the eye.
fun went in your eye.
But they said my eye socket wasn't broke. It clearly was broke. Remember
Yeah.
the night last time when I broke the proper time?
Yeah.
It was
worse than that with the foul one.
Yeah, I got elbowed on olden pads with someone spinning back elbowed me in the eye.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to explain it properly. This is how unlucky Vince is. Like, this is next level
So
shit. When you told me that, I was like,
no one believed me. Everyone thought I was lying.
I said to you, stop chatting shit.
Everyone thought the picture I put up was the one up of the Fowler eye.
Yeah.
So no one believed me.
He's olden pads for someone. Gonna have to give you the big shout out, Big Mikey lad.
Yeah.
But he was doing a spinning back elbow with him, and
but we changed the combo at this point. And he just, for some reason, he just wasn't listening. Like,
and he threw the spinning back elbow again.
Didn't drop me, like.
And Vent weren't prepared, and he fucking broke Vent's eye socket.
Broke my eye socket with elbow right in the eye. And I like...
Was that the same eye or was that the other eye?
No, it's the other one.
So he's done both MCLs,
Yeah.
he's done both eyes, I think he's done both elbows.
So like, that like hit me a bit and I was like, that hit that. But it didn't drop me, but I couldn't see. Like, it was blurry.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't see, and then blood just started coming out of my nose. I was like, oh, what's going on here? I was cleaned all that, and then Ellis was there, and Ellis was like, I'm going home now. So I went, like, I've got a video of it somewhere, and I can't find it, where I'm like breathing, and this eye's going...
Yeah, I can remember
like,
it. Your eye goes in and out.
In and out, like where the bones broke. So that's like, that happened. Then, but the Fowler one, okay, we'll get back to the Fowler one. The Fowler, I watched all these fights. He fought Elliot Jenkins. Do you know what I mean? He was stiff. He wasn't that fast. He wasn't... Do you know what I mean? He was good. He had good pressure on the floor.
Yeah.
That's what he did have. And then we're going to this fight, and all of a sudden he turns to Manny Pacquiao. Throwing these...
this uppercut
No,
from
he threw
hell.
this... He mustn't do that, because I sometimes do duck into a punch sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I do have a tight guard and sometimes duck down. I shouldn't really say that, but... not fighting anymore. So,
Semi-retired.
yeah,
It's all good,
semi-retired. So he hits me with this uppercut, and I'm thinking, ow, I can't see. But it felt like it was blurry.
Look, like from our point of view, because we was in the other corner, like you was on the other side, you went into his corner because you took him down off the wall, didn't you?
No, I took him down to our corner, because I remember I took him down to our corner, because on the video you can see John Miles in the background, and you see them, and you see Chris Walsh and John Miles in the background, you see them go, like, look
at your eye.
like the eye, but at this time...
I remember he had it in a choke as well, didn't he, when you took him down? So
but I reckon
the pressure off the choke.
I reckon that made it worse.
Yeah, it did.
But I thought, I was like, I've got Vaseline in my eye here or something. Like, because it was blurry, and I was like, I've got Vaseline in my eye. But I remember looking at Ellis, and it was like a blurred vision of Ellis just doing this. And I'm like, I can't see. I can't see anything. And then, so then he got this guilty and taken down. But then, like, I could just feel...
He squeezed that for like 2 minutes, though, didn't he? Like, he kept hold and he squeezed it.
I felt like his eye was just the skin went dead tight around it.
And this is one fight where Vince actually did catch a bit of a break.
I did win.
Because with 5 seconds left in the round?
It was like 2,
he
3
was in
seconds.
mounts just unloading.
And the referee and the doctor said to me, yeah, we were going to stop. We were going to stop after the fight.
Stop the fight, and literally 10 seconds later, the referee, the doctor comes in and goes,
yeah,
I would have stopped that fight if you would have went to the end of the round. So literally, one with 2 seconds ago, we got lucky in that one.
So basically, I'm just fucked.
Yeah.
Body, I've got no eyes, no hands. No.
Your body, lad, is... No, people say my body's a temple. Vent's body has fell apart.
It can't be a temple, it can't be... I don't know what it is. It's like a cave.
We need some RoboCop shit for you, lad.
But,
you know what I mean? Remember the build-up to the last fight when I was fighting Martinez? You kept putting the body belt on.
I used the CBD uplift.
Yeah.
Make me better.
Yeah, leading up to that last fight because I was doing all my pads with you, weren't I? Doing all the side kicks and all the fucking all the stuff with the body belt on.
Yeah.
And lad, I can remember you saying
Like,
at the
that
end
was
of
planned. Everything was planned.
Yeah, it was. I can remember you saying at the end of that camp, though, lad, my body's in bits.
My body's in. I had this big. It's like people don't understand. Like, padding people you're still getting beat up.
It is. You're still getting beat up. You're like holding pads, your shoulders still feeling.
El's got a bad neck and bad shoulder. When he does too many pads with people.
He does too many pads with people.
Like, he's got a bad shoulder and bad neck. But like, the game takes a fucking toll. It does in the end, and that's why when you see them like 50 years of age, they're all painkiller addicts, and like there probably is a drug problem in MMA now of like painkillers and that. I don't even know the UFC test for painkillers, do they? No. Do you know? Do you know how they do? Is that classed as recreational?
I think so.
I don't know.
Which is crazy.
But I don't think none of them are banned.
No, they're not. That's what I mean. You can, like with recreational drugs, like for instance, cocaine, weed, ecstasy.
Someone got banned the other day, didn't he? For a month.
Did they?
Yeah, some kid got caught and only got banned for a month.
Well,
I get banned for a month. Don't fight.
I know. Like the recreational drugs, you can only get banned in competition, and that's only like fight week.
Yeah.
As if anyone's going to turn up fight week, Charlie.
There's a problem. It could be. But there's a big problem in. There probably is a big problem in combat sports with the painkiller addictions. We probably know a few people who have already. Like I've tried tramadol before and with injuries, and you can see where people do get addicted to it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But that's probably a bigger problem. That's where in wrestling, let's go back to WWE.
WWE, bad for
they have to do a big drug thing because they were all dying.
Yeah,
they were all dying of heart attacks and this because they were taking too many painkillers and
drinking ale
and steroids and that.
But
maybe
and all that.
MMA needs one of them because I think you can see where people would get addicted.
Yeah,
to.
you can.
Because I remember the end of the last decade camp, I was thinking, I can't move. Hey.
And the weirdest thing about
I was waking out of bed thinking, I can't move.
Stuff like tramadol makes you go on to the harder drugs. Like, lad, know what? Jared Gordon
was perfect example. Where Jared Gordon's from painkillers to opiates.
Painkillers, yeah, opiates. But he was on the painkillers to ease his injuries, and then where they weren't doing it for no more, he ended up on the smack, lad. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
in America, isn't it cheaper for heroin than painkillers?
Oxycontins?
Yeah.
The Oxycontins usually in America?
I think in America it's cheaper to buy heroin than it is to buy prescription drugs.
And easier. Yeah, it's easier.
It's just like, wow.
Hillbilly crack, or what do you call it, hillbilly meth?
I don't even know, lad, but it's
don't they call the Oxycontins like hillbilly meth or something because you can get it so much?
Lad, it's just madness, lad. Like,
but you can see with the sport, you can see where someone could be getting addicted to, because there's a lot of addicted people in MMA.
Yeah.
MMA is an addictive sport.
It is.
It's addictive a lot of them have addictive personalities.
I know I have. Know what I mean?
That's why none of them want to fucking quit. Yeah. That's why none of them want to retire.
That's why once you retire, you come back.
That's why Chuck Liddell's talking about doing a bare knuckle fight.
Is he?
Yeah, he was the other day. I hope not. He's not. I hope he's not talking about it anymore. But it's like you just can't quit. That's the thing. But it's like you can see where people get addicted to these drugs because it takes away pain. After,
it does.
Like the last decade camp, I was finished. I had no back left. I had no knees left. I had nothing left. And I was just like, I got beat in the end, but it was because like I was just finished. I was done. My body was done. I couldn't move.
I'll be honest, Vent, that's what I mean. I can understand why you went into like semi-retirement.
Yeah, it's just like
because you've like your body's being put through so much. That
it's but like
I'm lucky in that sense. The only injuries I've really had are my wrists.
You're like a fucking octopus. Octopuses don't get hurt.
You don't like.
They can chop octopus's legs off and they'll grow back.
Know what though? Just before we finish, lad, we need to touch on Vegas.
Should we touch on Vegas?
Because, lad, for years we've always been like, I can't wait when we get to our UFC events and we get there.
I've always said to people have always said to me, should we do a stag do in Vegas? And I'm like, no, because one of the goals is to be in Vegas and corner or fight in Vegas.
I've always said it. I'm not going to Vegas until I fight there. That's what
I've always said. Yeah.
That's what I've always said. And it's happening.
We were going to London.
Lad, at first,
I was fuming.
London got announced.
I was fuming secretly. I was like, I've been
to London plenty of times. We've done loads of shows in London. When I got moved to Vegas last week, come in the gym like that, all giddy, proper giddy, like I was like, kid.
I was like, sure, I wish it was London.
This is what I think Vince's gonna do. I think we're gonna land there the Saturday the week before. Vince will go into the nearest casino. He's gonna get every penny out he's got.
That's why we're talking about addictions, guys.
Yeah, put it all on red and just go. Let's see how the week goes.
No, I can't do that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
No, seriously. The thing we got problem is though, we got a day or two in Vegas, haven't we, before we go to the hotel. And Rimmer and Ellis are not there.
Nah, we'll be good.
I could go missing.
No, you're
like could be the hangover.
Like
Rimmer could be like, "Where's Vet?" I'd like, don't know where he is. He came out missing half an hour ago. I don't know where he's gone. But I'll be good. I'll be a good man.
I know, like it's gonna sound mad, but obviously the first 2 days we're there, we don't have to quarantine in the hotel. I just can't wait to go for a run. Like a run round Vegas.
Yeah, you'd be
the
dead.
Strip. You know what I mean? Just
I'm sure I looked at the weather. It's like 40,
yeah, it's gonna
40.
be warm, but just run with no top on. Boom. Yeah, this is nice.
I will not be running next year. I'm telling you now.
No, I know you.
I'm not going to
won't.
be like that. You know the mayor with the
You
car.
can rent a bike.
Hey, I'll get a bike.
Yeah, you can rent
on
a
a
bike.
scooter.
Flying. Yeah, one of the electric
Yeah.
scooters. You gotta be them. Yeah.
I get one of them because I'm not going to be like the mayor with the camp. I'm not running next year. I'm not doing that. I'll follow you in a fucking Cadillac next.
Escalade, like
Cadillac
that.
next.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up there. Is there anything you want to say then before we go?
No, not really. I think we've covered everything there.
We have.
It's been quite fun.
We're gonna keep the podcast coming thick and fast now. I'm gonna get them going once a week. I want to thank Liverpool Podcast Studios for helping us out do this. Wouldn't be able to do this without him. I'm terrible with technology. But
we might do a fight companion one day, like a fight companion drinking one.
We might watch some shows live, stuff like that. But in the next few weeks, when me and Molly get these wins in Vegas, I want to sit down here with the whole team who went to Vegas and we'll have a laugh. So yeah,
Most Vegas stories.
thank you CBD Uplift. See you next time.